Hello everyone, my name is Naoladen. Today I'm going to be talking about Stardew Valley. More specifically, I'm going to be showing you my very first farm, the one that I've spent the most time on, and I played this farm before the new update, so I'll be telling you a little bit about what I did not do because the update had not happened yet, some tips and tricks, showing you the layout of my farm, and also telling you about some mistakes that I made. So here we go. I actually have 3 different farms. The one I'm going to be showing you today is the Pompeii Farm. It's after the movie Pompeii, of course. But I also have one that is off of Game of Thrones and another one off of Legend of Zelda. Not necessarily that I've made the layout of these farms about related to these shows or movies, but more importantly, I just named my animals or my characters after them. So I'm going to be focused on this one. I have 153 hours put into this one, and I have almost 2 million gold. I'm in day 16 of winter year 3, and as you can see, I'm not too far ahead of my other one. So this one I did not make as much gold in, and so I made some mistakes on this one, obviously. Okay, so when you go to the menu, it's going to give you some controls. Show you, just in case you forgot. Okay, so I have decorated my house. I put a lot of time into it. I think it's really cute. I have the Statue of Perfection right next to my bed. You get that after lighting all 4 candles with the grandfather's death, and it gives you iridium ores every day. I got 7, which is great. It gives you a random amount. I also have the calendar right next to my bed, just so I can see everybody's birthday and what events are coming up. Right now I'm in the night market, which is a new feature. It's part of the update. I will show that in another video. I'm not going to spend too much time on that today. Okay, so I do have my room decorated how I want it. Got, you know, my little statues and my little bear statue down here, some gemstones, a neat little forest-looking chair. Pretty cute. I did decide to marry Emily. She's one of my favorite characters. Love the blue hair. Looks like she's gonna be spending some time with her parrot today. Give her a little quick kiss. Oh, I guess she doesn't. I guess she doesn't want to kiss. Okay. I do have children. In the game, you can have 2 children. They never get any bigger than toddler age, or not yet, at least. Hold on, come back. All right, had to give her a kiss. Cute. Over here, we have the section of your spouse's room. I chose to marry Emily, so this is what her room looks like. Say hi to the parrot real fast for her. Hers is very colorful, super tropical, super cute. I did put a fridge in here. I filled the other fridge up mainly, and I want to have this fridge. Something that a lot of people don't know about the game is however many refrigerators that you put in your house, every time you go to cook on the stove, it'll actually take ingredients from every fridge in the house. So it's very useful if you want to get that cooking achievement. That way you don't have to keep reloading the same fridge over and over again. Moving on, over here I'm going to show you the main living area. I have also decorated this one because I'm in winter. I've decorated it for, you know, Christmas time, whatnot. I do have an indoor pot. It's a cactus plant, which can only be grown indoors, and let's water that cute. I only have one. It's mainly for aesthetic purposes. I think it's cute. I don't really think that there's a lot of profit in those, but who knows, I might be wrong. I did upgrade to the flat screen TV, acting a little bougie up here. Let's check the weather real fast. A few inches of snow, okay, cute. And I also have the fortune teller. So the fortune teller is basically the luck of your game. So it affects everything from like what you find in the mines and the school caverns, how many gold crops that you get each day, also to what you dig in the ground. It can increase the amount, the rarity of artifacts that you get. Otherwise, you might just get dirt. And my spirits are mildly perturbed. Great. Okay, I do keep some chests in here. One of them is for seeds or vegetables or something that I put in my kegs and my casks in the cellar. And then the other one's just for random decorations that I really didn't want to put in my house, or random things that I've just, you know, didn't have anywhere else to put. So moving along, up here I have my children's room. I did an underwater theme, which I'm really happy with. I think it's super cute. I have 2 little beds for them, a little tea set, a chicken, a bear. You cannot get rid of the crib at this time, so it has yet to be moved. I call this my study area. It's kind of where I put random decorations and trophies. I do have a jukebox in here. But most importantly, I have the catalogs. So this catalog, you can change your wallpaper, your flooring, and basically decorate the aesthetics of your house. And then this is the furniture catalog. So this you can put anywhere from chairs, dressers, tables, paintings, rugs, light fixtures, plants, fireplaces, TVs, electronics, basically everything. Now with the new update, a few things have been added that I haven't added yet. Most importantly, or most notably, is the telephone. Now with the telephone, you can call shops in town to see what time they open or what hours they have. You can call random villagers just to see how their day is going, things like that. Really cute. I have yet to do that. Like I said, I have not played this one after the new update, so... Got the big Christmas tree over here because it's winter time. It's getting close to Christmas. And then here's my other fridge, almost completely full, as you can see. So once I go over here to cook, I'm planning on having a bunch more fridges because I really want to get that cooking achievement. That way all of these can be highlighted and I can get that over with. Now one thing that I do that I think was kind of a tip is I have a keg outside of my cellar. You can also do this outside of the barn or the shed where you hold all of your kegs and casks. It's very convenient for things like wine and mead and beer and things like that. Not necessarily coffee beans, which I'm using right now, because they only take about an hour in-game, but for things that take several days, it's very useful so you don't have to keep going down here and checking it every day. You can just pass right on by it, save you a couple minutes in the day. And when that one's highlighted, then you'll know to go down there and check the rest of them. I did not grab enough, but you see my point. So down here I have some kegs. I also have a barn full of kegs out there. And then all of my casks are down here. So you can see that they're silver stars. Casks take a while, like a very long time actually, to, I guess, upgrade the quality of it. But it's very worth it because the price increases exponentially. So I'm gonna wait and see these are about gold or iridium quality before I hack those out and sell those. Okay, so that concludes the tour of my house. Emily, why are you staring at the wall? Can I have a... Oh, she kissed me now. Okay, I'm happy. Okay, moving on. It is winter, so lots of snow out on my farm. In the new update, you can actually change the color of the outside of your buildings. I have not done that yet, but I'm excited to do that. I really am tired of the brown and the red, so I really want to change the colors that make my farm a lot more colorful. Checking the mail here. Krobus. Milo, I've unlocked the back room of the shop. Come by when you have a chance. There's something I want to show you. Willie. Okay, so this is also part of the new update. It'll be something that I show you in another video. So I'm going to move along. And Evelyn sent me some bread. Too bad I'm going to sell that, Evelyn. Okay. This is just a tour of my farm. I'm actually not going to do any like real farming or selling today. It's just going to be showing you around. So in this little area is your spouse's area. So just like inside, they have their own room. They also have an outdoor area where they spend some time, not really in the winter time, but in the spring, summer, and fall. So as you can see, Emily's is colorful as well. She loves gemstones, things like that. So this is where she just kind of sits to calmly meditate and collect herself. I do have my horse right next to my house. I find it very convenient because I start my day off by grabbing my horse. Because it's a Pompeii Farm, I totally named everything after characters in the movie. So my horse's name is Atticus, my dog's name is Varys, and as you can see, I went with the standard dog. You can choose between a dog or a cat at the beginning of the game, and there's usually only one or two that you can choose from, but after the update, ConcernedApe actually added several other options. So this looks like a golden retriever or a golden lab. You can actually get like a German shepherd, things like that, different kinds of dogs, which I think was really neat that he added. My horse is wearing a hat. That's cute. I know people are going to comment on this, so I'm just going to make a note of it. I have a heater here outside of my stable. It's not needed for the horse, but I like it as it makes me feel better about it because it's winter and I don't want little Atticus getting cold. All he's wearing is a hat. Over here I have my chests. I like to color code them for each season. So right now it's the winter theme. I have a jukebox over here so you can change the music. Let's go ahead and change that to something else. Mines. Okay, we'll go ahead and do that one. Oh, I like this one. Okay. So in my chests, I have... these are random objects. Some of the older tools that I don't use anymore because I've upgraded. Things like fences, random things that I need. I do like to keep my totems in here to warp wherever I want. And then I also keep my geodes. So I collect all my geodes until the end of the season. And then on the very last day, I take them all and I break them and then sell them or donate them to the museum or whatever I see fit. I also keep a lot of the lower level fish. This was a tip for me that I learned pretty early on. So these lower fish here, they don't sell for very much when you sell them as is, but if you keep them until the end of the season, you can take them into your kitchen and create and make them into sashimi, and then they sell for about double the price. So it's not much, but it does rack up because if you have a lot of crab pots like I do, you get a lot of these lower end fish. So it's something to do on the last day along with your geodes to kind of take up the last day because you're not going to be doing a lot of farming or anything else because, as I said, it's the last day. So it's kind of just a money maker for that last day for you. Moving on into my middle chest, I keep all of my seeds, my extra vegetables and fruit in here, wine that I want to put into my cellar, my casks, things like that. I also keep a lot of extra seeds in here for seasons to come, just because I don't want to keep having to run to the store. I like to be able to plant as soon as I can. Way to get save. It's a time saver for sure. In my beginner's chest, I have all of my crafting items. Weird, I have a seed in there, but you know, whatever. So anything from like saps, dirt, slimes, cloth, everything that you can use to craft with. And I also keep my bombs in here just so that I know where they're at. So I did get 7 ore today, making that to 20, which I can get a few iridium bars out of that, so that's great. I also have the workshop, which is one of the newer items and one of the newer updates, but it's very, very useful. So it basically takes everything from every chest that's next to it, and it allows you to craft from there without having to take anything out of the chest. Very, very useful. As you can see, I have a lot of craftables, so I can craft almost anything. Ooh, what's that? That's a pretty ring. So it's definitely a must-have for me. Put it along next to one of your chests, and you'll never have to go digging through them again. So as it is winter, you can't plant any crops, but you can plant winter seeds, excuse me, which are things that you get from each of the forageables. So if I get one of them, a winter root, a snow yam, a crocus, and a crystal fruit, you can actually go into the crafting screen, and you can get 10 winter seeds out of that. So it grows exponentially, and I have a lot of them. Maybe not as much as I did in the beginning, but you can get a lot of winter seeds. So it's definitely a money maker. It's definitely something you want to do during the winter because you're not going to be making a lot of money otherwise. You can do fishing and mining, but ultimately I like to rely on crops for a money maker. Going to show you my shed. I have basically all of my tools that I need to keep on crafting in my shed. So these are my furnaces to make ore into bars. I have a loom for cloth, a kiln, my seed makers, those are a must-have, oil makers, some preserve jars. My worm jars are a must-have for me because I do a lot of crab pots. I put them everywhere around the map. It takes 5 seconds out of your day to go over there and refill them and grab them. And if you get the perk to where it's no longer any trash, then you can definitely get a lot of that fish and, like I said, make it into sashimi. It's a huge money maker for me. Crystallariums are another good money maker. I believe I have a whole bunch of them in the quarry. And then you've got the trash makers, which I think I have some trash here. You can get that from the crab pots or from fishing or from, you guessed it, trash cans. Yes, you can go digging through the trash in this game. So I do have a bunch of crab pots. I'm not going to go much into it, but just for those who don't know, to refill it, you just hold your bait, grab it, and then refill. Moving along, I do have a lot of hives. So these, not in the winter time, but in the other months, they will produce honey. If you put flowers next to them, it'll actually produce the kind of honey that the flower is from, which increases the value of the honey. I did not know this at first, but it was very, very useful, especially because some of the most expensive flowers will give you a lot more gold for the honey. So this is something that you really want to do. I forgot to mention this about the shed. In the new update, he's actually made it to where you can double the size of the shed. The reason why I mention this is because before this, this is my older farm, so before this update, I actually have all of my kegs in a barn, because as you can see, there's a lot more space. But with the new update, you can double the size of that shed, and it allows for much easier organization of that keg setup. So I have all my kegs in here. I could probably fit like 10 more, but it's kind of not aesthetically pleasing, and it's in a barn, I mean, for God's sake. But I do have a bunch. This is a really big moneymaker as well, as most people know. Most likely essential. So here is the first mistake that I'm gonna come across. I have 2 silos on my farm, which are both empty. I should probably feed my animals, those poor starving creatures. You actually don't need 2 silos. So each silo holds 480 hay, which goes by pretty fast if you have a lot of animals. But one tip that I learned, and I wish I would have learned it sooner, is that if you have a silo here, you can actually put a chest right here next to the silo, and you can put all of your hay in there. So you can have unlimited amounts of hay, and then every time that your silo becomes empty, you can just take that hay out and put it right into the silo. I obviously did not know that. That's one mistake that I made. And now I have 2 silos. It's completely an eyesore. I guess I could also destroy one and take it down, but as I said, it was my mistake. This is the dogs area. I am using the forest farm, so on different farms it'll be in different places, but you can always make sure to fill their water bowl so they don't become dehydrated. Where's my horse? Atticus. All right. So moving along, I have a little fruit tree up here. Not sure why I put that there, but you know. Over here is the totem pole. So whenever you use the farm totem from wherever you at, this is where you're gonna spawn right here. Hopefully it's not too late and you can make it home so you don't pass out. I have done that a few times. Like I said, on every farm you're gonna have certain features. You're gonna have a cave, but this is where the cave is located on the forest farm. Pretty early in the game, I believe when you reach 2 hearts with Demetrius, he's gonna come to you and he's gonna ask you to do something with this empty cave. You get a choice between mushrooms or bats. I went with mushrooms. A lot of people do because it is in the long run, maybe not at first, but in the long run, it's a bigger money maker. But a lot of people also go with the bats because it helps with the community center bundles, and also for gifts for villagers, because the fruit bats drop fruit, obviously, and a lot of the villagers really like fruit, or at least it's a neutral present for them, so it's very useful. It also helps you complete the community center bundles. I prefer not to do that because I just forage a lot. I'm not going to show you the greenhouse yet. I'm going to move along. So I do have the forest farm, like I said, so with lots of wooded area. It's super cute. I like it. Little peekaboo. Over here we have Grandpa's Shrine. So at the beginning of the game, your grandfather dies. He's the one that leaves you the farm. And in the very first day of year 3, your grandfather's, I guess, his ghost, his spirit, he comes to give you an evaluation. And depending on how well you did with the farm, he will light 1 to 4 candles. I obviously did very well, and I got all 4 candles lit. Woohoo! And that's how I have the Statue of Perfection. I also, just for an aesthetic view, I added a little tombstone here as in memory to my grandfather, and I also added a cherry tree because in the spring it will look like a cherry blossom, and I think that's beautiful. Moving on here, I'm going to show you my greenhouse. The greenhouse is part of the community center that you get. Oh, I need to light this place up. And it's very useful to get early on because you can grow any crop, any season, and I love it. I usually put star fruit or ancient fruit in here because those are the 2 biggest selling crops and also the biggest selling wines that you can make. So these 2 empty spaces in here, I probably could rearrange these sprinklers to have all of this done, but I just wasn't interested at the time, I guess. I have all of these, and they're all crops that continuously produce except for the star fruit. So I kind of don't need to water it, obviously, because of the sprinklers, and I don't need to worry about planting a lot, just the star fruit over and over again. So it's very useful. It's just an easy money maker for me. This is something that I did not know until somebody told me this. You can plant trees. You can actually plant fruit trees in your greenhouse. You can plant them all over as long as they're not too close to each other. They'll continuously grow. It's very easy to get the fruit that you need without having to have the bat cave. You can also plant the trees down here where I have my preserve jars. I chose not to do that because it blocks the first 2 rows from your view. So I did not like having it there. But if you want more money, you could totally do that. I have preserve jars here, and this is going to be the second mistake that I'm going to tell you about. So preserve jars, they do increase the value of crops, but I should have put kegs here because kegs definitely increase them more. Another mistake that I made before I go to bed and head to the next day to show you guys is I should have put a chest in here. The reason why I say this is because you're going to be walking back and forth from your chest. So having a chest in very essential areas of your farm is going to be a huge time saver for you. So if I had fruits and seeds in here that I could have put in my kegs or whatever that I could save from my fruit trees or whatever, then that would save me a lot of time. But instead, I kind of just have to wing it. I kind of have to just make sure that I have enough fruit to have in here at each time. I think it was a mistake of mine. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. I'm going to at least sell some stuff so I just make a little bit of money. But then I'm going to go to the next day and continuously show you my farm. Must have spent a lot of time talking, I guess. But I want to make at least something. Ooh, and a pearl. I'm gonna put him up so he's warm. You don't have to do that, by the way. I did that. That was another mistake that I made. I continuously put my horse up every night. You could leave him on the other side of the map and he'll find his way back. He's a pretty smart horse, actually. I'm gonna go sell this coffee too. Woo! Make sure you're in bed by 2 a.m. or you will totally pass out. Aw, and my wife is in bed for the evening. I know, not a lot of money. It was something. Okay, moving along. Now in day 17 of winter. Screw you, kids. Alright, it's snowing today. Great. Oh, and I have a lot more crops. Awesome. Crab pots. Oh, this is where I was. Okay, so there's my greenhouse. Moving along. During the spring, summer, and fall, I like to keep all of my crops neatly organized. So these will be completely full. And then this year I planned on expanding, so I'm gonna have a lot more crops. It goes all the way down. Very, very convenient. Lots and lots of money. I like to keep mine organized. Some people like to go willy-nilly, whatever they want. Whoa. Whoa, how did I do that? Whoa. What? Let me try that again. Okay, must have been a glitch. Anyways. So, I'm gonna pause here so I don't waste too much time in the day. So, the biggest benefit of the forest farm is that you get hardwood. And usually on any other farm, the only hardwood that you can get is in the secret forest. And so when you get the forest farm, it basically doubles the amount of hardwood that you can get in a day. And hardwood is really essential for crafting or for bundles or things like that. So I went with this. It was an obvious choice for me in the beginning, but each farm has its own special perk, and lots of people like the other ones as well. There's also a new farm with the new update. It's the beach farm, and the beach farm is really cool because you cannot use sprinklers. It's sandy soil, so you have to water your crops every day, but It's on a beach, so you get basically things that wash up on the beach. There's fishing that you can do without having to go to the beach and things like that. So it's basically a neat little feature. I like it. There's also a Four Corners map, which is a newer one, and that one gives you the best of all of the 4 previous maps. So there's hardwood, there is a quarry, such as in the Hilltop Farm, there's a fishing area, such as the River Farm, and then lots of space for farming like the standard farm. So here's my hardwood. Here's my chicken coop. I'm gonna show that to you guys. Like I said, this was my first farm, so I didn't really go into the farm animals a lot. I kind of just wanted whatever I could get, so it's a random assortment. I got a little cute bunny, a duck, my void chicken. You can get dinosaurs in this game. I didn't know if you knew that. The dino egg is something that you can donate to the museum. It's an artifact you can dig up. But if you take it to your incubator in the chicken coop, you can hatch a dino that will give you dino eggs over time. I did not know this until I tried it out randomly one day, and I was pleasantly surprised. You can also get dino mayo from those dino eggs, and I thought that was super neat. Oh, they're angry. Oh, because I didn't feed them. Sorry, you're gonna have to go hungry again. All right, moving on down. These little spots right here, if you don't know, I call them worms, but I guess they're supposed to be twigs, but you can hoe them out and you get either forageables, dirt, or you can get artifacts to donate. Down here is where I keep my barn, the bigger animals. I have lots of pigs. Pigs make oil. They dig up truffles, actually, that you can make truffle oil with, which is one of the biggest money makers in the game. You just need a lot of time because pigs, they take forever to grow up. Oil makers take quite a while to get. It's basically a late game moneymaker, but I do have several of those. I have sheep, cows, goats, things like that. And as you noticed in my chicken coop, I put all of my mayo makers in there, and I also did the same with my cheese makers in the barn. It was convenient for me because the gatherers are right here, so I can just go ahead and put these right into my makers. Some people like to put them in their sheds or their barn, or outside of their house. I prefer to keep it convenient. I like to save time in the game so I can do as much as possible. Over here, I have my little tree sap area. Tree sap is important for crafting in the game. Later on, you can also sell it if you have enough. So I have basically 2 of each kind of tree right now. I do plan on planting more. I just like to have mine in neat little rows, I guess you could say. So I like to pick these random seeds out and then plant them wherever I would like. Moving along over here, there's some fishing areas that you can do, or what I'm gonna do with them is I'm gonna add more crab pots. Cute little area. Moving on, I have a bunch of forageables up here, super cool. And that basically concludes my farm. Like I said, there's some things that I have not done yet because of the new update. I plan on adding a lot more as I continue playing this farm. And let me know what you think. Let me know some things that you think that I might improve upon, maybe some more mistakes that you made or that I made that you want to correct me on, or if you just like the way my farm is, leave me some comments, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm going to do some videos about the new update, maybe some new features, colors, games, and things that I should have done or that I didn't do. There's a whole new area in the update that I want to touch a base on. Ginger Island. I think that's super neat. And I think I might do another video about all of the villagers too. Which ones are my favorite, which ones that are my least favorite, which ones I think really don't add anything to the game, or which ones I do. Let me know what you want to see in my videos, guys. I hope that you have a great night. This is Naoladen signing off. Thank you.